Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com. In my previous video, I showed how the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change altered their Arctic sea ice data between 1990 and 2001. The 1990 United Nations report showed that Arctic sea ice extent increased from 1974 until 1990, with 1979 being the peak year. But in the 2001 report, the United Nations rewrote the history of Arctic sea ice. The 1990 report showed a sharp decline in Arctic sea ice from 1974 to 1990, which is the exact opposite of what the 1990 report showed. The history of Arctic sea ice had been rewritten. Somebody posted a comment on the video objecting to what I had shown. Doug Bristor wrote, "How come Heller only shows the northern sea ice extent in IPCC 1990, and not both north and south, whereas the 2001 report has only a single combined graph? It's a bit misleading to not compare like with like." What he's claiming is that the 1990 report was Arctic sea ice only, but the 2001 report was combined from both poles. It's an interesting theory, except for the fact that it isn't true. The 2001 report had both Arctic sea ice extent, which I used in my video, and Antarctic sea ice extent. Doug Bristor made it sound like he knew what he was talking about, when in fact he was just making things up. I see this a lot on my videos. People who try to create doubt by posting authoritative sounding misinformation. I'm going to end this with a short sequence of a video which Doug Bristor made so you can understand where he's coming from.
Hi there, I'm Doug, and I just wanted to introduce you to a project that I've been working on in the last few weeks. I've wanted to see the increase in global temperature and the severity and abnormalities of what's happening on a month-by-month basis.
Doug is posting fake temperature maps from the Climatic Research Unit in England. They claim to have land and ocean temperature data from all over the world from 1882. In this 2009 ClimateGate email, the head of the Climatic Research Unit, Phil Jones, said, "For much of the southern hemisphere between 40 and 60 south, the normals are mostly made up as there is very little ship data there." In other words, they were just making the ocean data up, and the land data is just as bad. This map shows where NOAA has daily temperature data from 1891 to 1920. The vast majority of their high-quality data is from the United States. There's also some from Europe, parts of Asia, and parts of Australia. There's almost no data from the Arctic, Antarctic, most of Asia, Africa, and South America. As Ross McKittrick has pointed out, the Climatic Research Unit uses pretty much the same data as NOAA. Doug is posting completely fake temperature data while saying the accurate information I posted about the Arctic is wrong. This inversion of reality is pretty much par for the course from climate alarmists. Toto's been pulling back the curtain on this scam for the past 14 years. You can visit him, Kyrie Caesar, Toki and Upla on the web at realclimatescience.com.